first of all, I just want to thank everybody for coming here tonight. It is, from up here, just a beautiful thing to see so many people that I know and I have met along the way in this journey. So thank you for being here tonight. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kara Dixon. I am one of the founders of Root to Branch. Thank you. This is Sarah Green, one of the other founders of Root to Branch. And Caitlin Brady, one of the other founders of Root to Branch. We are the founders of Root to Branch. So I wanted to start out tonight with a quick story. My oldest son left for college in August, which is quite an experience for anyone who's walked through that. So in his room is empty. There is a desk, a bed, a bookshelf, and a fish tank that he's left. So I have found myself like randomly, or maybe not so randomly, going into his room often in his absence to check on the fish. So it started out as like a casual little like peek when he first left, and it sort of morphed into multiple visits and sort of like an incredible curiosity on fish, which I've never had before. So what was this tank? How is the ecosystem system sustained? Are there ways the temperature is monitored? Wait, who did Sammy want to feed these fish? Who did he leave to take care of this tank? The tank had grown so much algae, and the day that I found a fish dead, I was like, I knew I needed to move to action. So I started water tests and monitoring the temperature and feeding regularly and learning so much about the balance that was needed to keep the tank, this little ecosystem, healthy. So I'm proud to report here tonight that I was able to balance the tank, take care of the existing fish, and the fish have multiplied. They are thriving, friends. Thank you. Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. It's a little obsessive. He knows it's true. So my eyes are on it, though other problems arise. I keep monitoring the fish tank and making sure everyone's okay. So as the founders of this organization, it's important to note that we are a group of social scientists with curiosity. We observe patterns and assess imbalance and work daily to restore the health and well-being of individual clients and families in our community. So, however, it's hard to ignore that no matter how hard that we are working with individuals in our care, there are some larger macro problems in the ecosystem that create incredible barriers to accessing quality care, and especially in times of most need. So we cannot control or change what happens to those in our community, but we do have a choice with how we respond. We have to address the ecosystem. So what are the beautiful parts of humanity and community that we want to preserve, and what is the care that is needed that we need to apply collectively to restore balance? In our areas of training, we have observed that there are multiple barriers that prevent quality, evidence-based trauma treatment for psychological repair to an individual at the onset of a traumatic event. If someone's brain has psychological impact from a negative event and they only receive strategies for taking a deep breath without treatment that restores the brain, they will go on living untreated psychologically. The challenge with psychological pain, as I've said in the past, is that it's not visible. We cannot see our brains every day. But actually, it is visible. We see the impact everywhere in our communities: isolation, avoidance, reactive responses, detached living, relational dysfunction, addiction, shutdown, sleepless nights, challenges with nourishing our own bodies, suicides, incredible fear and anxiety, hopelessness and despair. Because a prolonged period of maladaptive coping without treatment or a community that cares can lead to a whole range of mental health concerns. So we wanted to present tonight a little of the science and sacrifice that has gone into this project, where so many of us are actively working to change the ecosystem in our Philadelphia communities and eventually have it spread to other communities until our country has a structured approach to managing traumatic events with populations that are enduring significant exposure to violence, disaster, medical trauma, cancer diagnosis that disrupt their well-being. It is a critical care model that is embedded in partnerships so that a person feels truly held in their deepest point of pain and suffering. Trauma does not have to be the end of the story. So we asked ourselves some of the common scientific questions to address the problem of well-being in our community. So let's start with the what. What are we gathered here for tonight? What is Root to Branch? Sarah?
So can I get a show of hands of who was here? I'm doing my own thing, Kara. It's not on the script. If you were here last year, who was here last year? Oh, great. And then hands up again. Who's this first time? Excellent. Oh, my gosh. Excellent. I just wanted to know how in depth I needed to go. So Root to Branch is a 501c3 nonprofit, which is a beast to become. So that is impressive in and of itself. Our vision is aimed at reducing the impact of negative events and life experiences by increasing access to evidence-based therapeutic care. So by establishing Root to Branch as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, we're better able to secure donations and funding to cover the costs of quality care without further impacting the populations we serve. So Root to Branch is able to provide free trauma treatment to people who need it. Yes. And this comes right from our website. The mission of Root to Branch's various services is to expand preventative and trauma-focused care options to individuals, families, and organizations while providing high-quality services and programming to vulnerable populations recovering from trauma.
All right. Thank you to Gabby for clicking through our slides. Please keep eating. Keep enjoying yourself as I walk us through the how. All right, so how does Root to Branch help those in need with this trauma treatment? There's many steps that go into it, and I'm not going to read every single word on this slide, although there will be a quiz later, so make sure you take notes. But we intentionally utilize EMDR, which we will talk more about as the night goes on. We have amazing EMDR therapists and consultant here in our audience tonight that's going to share some more for us. But on top of that, we are intentional with building our community of supports. We thoroughly vet clinicians that join Root to Branch. We pay clinicians fair market value. And that's important because we take care of the clinicians who are taking care of the clients, right? They need to be supported to support those around them. We've worked with, like I said, many consultants that have helped us in specific training and development of these models, and countless professionals have volunteered their time to help us, from model creation to the actual consultation of service delivery. So with EMDR, we have created a specific 12-step model to treat acute trauma. Of course, if you are familiar with trauma treatment or EMDR in general, you know that we can address lifelong traumatic events with EMDR, and it does so extremely effectively. But for Root to Branch, we wanted to focus on acute trauma that is keeping the individuals away from their day-to-day lives and impacting their families, friends, communities around them. We also have created a community library that will be launching soon on our website, so stay tuned for that, where we have created unique and intentional content from EMDR therapists and consultants that is free of charge, so that those who go through our program have access to continued support, but also as a resource to the community at large. Anyone can access these materials from our website in the community library. And another important part of our work at Root to Branch is really building a relationship ecology, right? We have community partners that we work with. We have preferred providers, and we make these lasting and deep connections with our community around us to ensure that anyone who comes through Root to Branch is receiving quality supportive care. A little bit on the how is another exciting event that will be starting in January of 2026, is a partnership with the Willows Park Preserve. And we will be working with local businesses to provide in-person learning opportunities once a month called First Fridays. And these, again, are open to everyone to attend, but it's also creating that relationship ecology where you have familiar providers, familiar people within the community for our network to touch base with, work with, and collaborate with. So this is just a quick little flow chart of how our organization works for those who might not be familiar. We have our community partners that connect referrals directly to us. We discuss what the referral needs, where they're located, and we link them with our preferred providers. And our preferred providers are the ones that are working with that client through the entire model, doing the intake sessions, doing the EMDR, and connecting them to continued resources once their EMDR is finished. A little bit more of the how is, of course, why we're here tonight. Nonprofit funding, right? All of your generous contributions, the amazing auction, the 50-50. We have great grant writer who has helped us in our endeavor of writing and applying for grants. And we're partnering with the Villanova MBA program to build out business plans, as well as the UPenn clinical interns. So far, in our 2 years of doing this, all operational manpower has been 100% volunteer. And so all of the money that we have begun to raise, starting from last year at our launch, has been put back into direct client care, which is awesome. Now, for the who.
Okay, so we are passionate about supporting our communities and providing to those in need. But the who is supporting Root to Branch. So actually all of you here tonight, and many others who have sacrificed countless hours and resources to this cause. So I just want to take a couple minutes to recognize those people now. So I want to start with our board. And if you are on our board, I know we have a few here, if you could just stand, and could we just say thank you so much for serving. Thank you so much. Thank you. We would not be here without you. Your support and that, thank you. And we also want to recognize our advisors. And these are people that we turn to help support us and guide us with the questions, from how to sort of construct nonprofit to how to develop the model. So if you're an advisor here tonight, can you please stand and we can recognize you? Thank you. Thank you. And we have, like we said, started partnering with community. So we have community partners. So we have a big network of people that we've been having conversations with, building relationships with. A few of those community partners are here tonight. We just listed a few. So if you are here tonight and are a community partner and have been partnering with us, these are a few that are on the list tonight. Can you stand up and can we recognize you in the crowd? Thank you for partnering with us. So I would also like to see if you are, this night has been put together by the Gala committee. So if you are on the Gala committee and you see your name up here, Faith, stand. She said she wouldn't stand. Please stand so we can recognize you. This place is beautiful, and it's countless hours of planning that have gone into this. Lots of details, so thank you for partnering with us for that. And we have preferred providers, so we have several of them here tonight, and they have also donated hours, helping us think this through and onboarding. So I know we have the Sonari today here. Sonari. And we have Choosing Change, I know is here. And Ethos representative, Michael Blanche here. And we have Randolph Walters and Associates here. And the Growth Minded team, anyone on our team here tonight? Yay, okay. So, and then we want to recognize those who have donated to the incredible auction that we have, a lot of businesses and people that have donated. So if you see your name on this list and you donated tonight, thank you so much. Can you stand, please, so we can recognize you? Thank you. Yes, Jenny, okay, cool. And our sponsors, we have had also such generous sponsors that have made this night possible. So if you are a sponsor and you see your name on this list, can you please stand? We can recognize you. And we want to recognize one of our event sponsors here. So the Guest House has been very generous to sponsor our event tonight. So I had the privilege, and I said I'm excited to be able to talk about them for a minute. I had the privilege to be able to go out and visit at the Guest House. It is a residential, beautiful space and facility for those who are recovering from trauma. And we have Lauren Milner here representing the Guest House. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. And we also had another generous donation from the K-10 Kids Foundation. And we have your table here, if we could just recognize you and thank you for your contribution. Yeah. And I also want to recognize my brother who helped us with a grant, John Peter. Helped us with a grant writing process. So thank you so much. It really takes a lot of different pieces to put something like this together, and all of the people that we've recognized, and again, just you guys for being here are part of that. So, all right.
We're almost done, I promise, but keep eating. Keep enjoying your meal. So we're here in our Philadelphia communities. Like I said before, we are working to conceptualize this model, and through proper vetting of clinicians, we do hope to be able to spread it to larger communities, other states, and be able to support more and more individuals. The why, we've identified 4 specific populations to start. Again, hopefully our initiatives will only grow from here. But of these 4 populations, we selected them primarily for a few reasons. There's a high prevalence of trauma. They are at an elevated risk compared to the general population. There's downstream consequences that we may see. And By subsidizing trauma treatment for these groups, we're addressing clear gaps where many survivors of trauma do not receive effective or specialized help. Just a few statistics. Again, I'm not going to read, but there will be a quiz. So, first responders, military and veterans, medical trauma and cancer survivors, and our community care initiative, survivors of community disasters, gun violence, and intimate partner violence. These are the 4 populations that we are working with specifically, and some of the specialized training that we are working on.